Happy Friday, Year 5. So today we are going to be looking at our arithmetic skills. So we normally do an arithmetic test on a Friday. Makes it a little bit difficult to do it whilst we're all at home and in different places. So we're going to try and do it as best as we can, okay? And see if we can get as many questions correct as possible. Do not worry about the amount that you get correct. I will not be taking scores, okay? But if you want to keep a score for weekly targets, then you can. Okay, so we will be doing our weekly arithmetics as we normally do. So just put a quick reminder on for you of some key facts, because some of us still accidentally do that as 5 times 2. Remember when we see this little 2 here, it is 5 times 5, okay? It doesn't mean 5 times 2, it means 5 squared, so we're timesing the number by itself. Same here, 3. The 3 means cubed. Okay, remember it means 3 times that number. So it's 6 times 6 times 6. That number times itself 3 times. Okay? Here we have the decimals into fractions. Now sometimes when we do this in school, we do have some people that get lucky and they get it right, and some people that have a little bit of help when they get these questions. I'm just going to give you a little bit of a helping hand before we move on to the questions. And this one shows that if it was in a place value grid, this would be our ones, this would be our tenths, and this would be our hundredths. So we know at the bottom we need 100 for our fraction. And we have the 3 in the hundredths column, so the 3 goes on the top, making it 3 over 100. Similar to percentages, so percentages are out of 100. So if it was this number here, the 3 is in the hundredths column. If it was in here, it would be in the tenths, making it 30%, but because it's 1 less, it makes it 3%. So just remember those when we have a look at some arithmetic questions. Okay? So what I've done is screenshotted our usual arithmetic sheet, and I have done it so we can all see it. And you can just write them down. So you write number 1 and you answer it, number 2, you answer it, etc. Normally the front page we all whiz through in about 2 minutes, tops I would imagine. And it's nice and simple stuff. So I'm going to leave it on for a couple of seconds and then move on. You guys can pause the video so it makes it easier for you. I'm going to move through, and some questions I'm going to give you some help on so that you can remember for next time, just because we're not in our normal usual environment. So here we go, just a quick reminder for these ones. So we have number 10. We must make sure we set it out in our column addition and subtraction. It's so much easier to set it out like this, and it makes it easier for you to see as well. So when you work it out, you can see all your numbers clearly and you can do your exchanges properly. Okay, so remember we're doing our 4 take away 1, which we can do. Can you do 3 take away 9? Impossible, we can't do that unless we go into negative numbers, and we know we can't go into negative numbers when we are doing column subtraction. So we remember we steal it from the 2, so if I just show you on this one, and that becomes a 1. So then we change that into 13 take away 9, which is now doable. Okay, so you need to remember that when we do the subtractions on our arithmetics. Then if we move on to 13, again we have a subtraction again. Now some of us worry about the decimal point. We must make sure it's in our calculation and in our answer as well. It always applies the same rule that our biggest number goes on the top. So as you can see here, the big number goes on top, the big number goes on top for this one. Okay, and you will get an answer for your decimal. I'm not going to give the answers because that would just give it away for you. Just giving you a little bit of help with these questions. This one, some of us get stuck on this one when we do it in class, so we always break it down. So first of all, we do 5 times 4, which I've done here. 5 times 4 would give me an answer. Then we times the answer. That's why I've put a question mark, because I didn't want to give you the answer, but I wanted to show you the next step. So we put the answer to the first calculation here, and then we times that by 2 to give us our final answer. Okay? Here we have fractions. Now we've not covered fractions yet, but some of us are quite good at it when we do it in our arithmetics. Can remember from maybe year 3 and year 4 when you've done this before. I'm just going to give you a clue again. So we start off with our big number and we divide it by 5. The word divide sometimes scares to a lot of us, so it's just how many 5s go into 75. So you can count in your 5 times tables. Then whatever answer you get, again I've put a question mark because I didn't want to give you the answer. Whatever the answer is, you times it by 1 because we have 1 on the top. Okay. Moving on to 17. Now we all should be masters at this one. We have done timesing by 10, 100 and 1,000 just before Christmas, so we should remember. My questions to help you with it is, can you move it left or right? So which way are we moving it? And how many places? So how many places do I move it when I just times it by 10? Okay. This one is a division one. Again, we've not fully covered division yet, but some of us remembered how to do it from last year, which is absolutely fantastic. So here, it's how many 4s go into 5, how many 4s go into 7, how many 4s go into 6. Now remember, sometimes you might have remainders, so we give you a clue on this one. How many 4s go into 5? We have 1, because only one 4 goes in, and we have 1 left over because we have 4, but I need 5. So I add the 1 on to the 7 because I still have 1 left over. So it would be how many 4s into 17 this time, and you could possibly have a remainder for this one. Again, I'm not going to tell you because it's for you guys to work out. A little hint from the beginning of the video, so hopefully that should be able to help you when answering this question. Just remember where the number is placed in the place value grid. You might want to draw a place value grid to help you. Okay. Here we have been doing short multiplication all week. Some of you would look at this and go, but there's a decimal. It can't be the same. It just works exactly the same as how we've been doing it all week. Okay, so we just do 5 times 7, 5 times 6, 5 times 2. But whatever our answer is to 5 times 2, just goes in front of the point. We have a point in our answer for this one. Okay. This one, remember, we break it down into 2 multiplications. We will be covering this soon. Okay, so don't worry if you don't get this one. Remember, you only get 2 marks if you do the breaking down and show the working that way, and you get the answer right as well. This one here, again, some of you would look at it and go, well, I can't do that one because there isn't enough numbers. You can add a 0 onto the 7.3 to make it easier to add up your numbers. And again, I've got my highest number on the top just so I can see it, and it's clearer when I do my calculation. Here we've got another fraction of a number. Couldn't get my words out then. Fraction of a number. So we start off with 700. So how many 7s go into 700? That is quite an easy question for those who have fantastic times table knowledge. You should be able to answer it very quickly. Then whatever your answer is for this first calculation, you will times it by 3 to get your final answer. And that is the Year 5 arithmetic test for this week. Well done for working super hard in maths this week. I'm excited to see how many questions you got right in this arithmetic. Don't worry, as long as you have tried your best. I'm just going to clarify that that one here is a divide, just a little bit small. Okay? Good luck.